I'm Bing Ye. I use fruit flies and mice to study how our brains form neural networks and how defects in this process causes human diseases. Our brains actually is very sophisticated, and it's not just a group of cells aggregated together. They form a neural network, and these neural networks compute information, process information, forms a perception, and many high-order functions of the brain. My lab studies how these cells in the brain, called neurons, grow their different parts and connect to each other. Fruit flies and humans have a lot in common at the level of cells and genes. It's much easier to change fly genes and then look at the fly neurons, then change human genes and then look at the human neurons. Artificial intelligence, computational approaches, modeling, all these provide exciting tools for us to push forward the science and medicine. However, these tools cannot replace experimental systems like fruit flies and many other organisms. These organisms provide unique opportunities for experimentation, which cannot be done directly in humans and cannot be done just in computers. One particular interest of our lab is the brain disorders in Down syndrome. One of the things that we did early in my lab was to systematically test a number of genes for their involvement in different parts of the neuron. We found one gene that actually have a very interesting effects on neurons' development. It turned out the amount of this protein determines how big neurons' part forms to connect to next neuron. Gene that produces this protein is called DSCAM, or Down syndrome cell adhesion molecule gene. So naturally, the next question was whether the increased amount of this DSCAM protein leads to neuronal changes that are similar to what we observed in fruit flies. To answer that question, we used the Down syndrome mouse models. Our study on DSCAM showed that DSCAM causes excessive number of this inhibition in the mouse brain. We started with asking a basic science question: how different parts of a neuron form during animal development. We think that we found an important reason that causes a major change in Down syndrome brain. Moving forward, we want to understand how groups of neurons form a functional neural network. Neural networks are really the units of brain function. So understanding that is a further step towards understanding the brain function. Having that kind of level of understanding will also help us develop better treatment for brain disorders.